Election period is on. You have seen the presidential candidates moving for NRM, for NUP, FDC, and other different parties. Especially for NUP, uh, there's money allocated, 10 billion for different political parties, but NUP is getting 1.4 billion of this share. How do you think this money can come down to support those in constituencies and districts?
Thank you so much, Comrade Araka. My name's Aniku Nelson, the NUP chairperson for Arua district. I so much appreciate the initiative of giving support to the political parties by the Electoral Commission. This is given by the fact that the parties are expected to receive this money according to the number of the representations in the parliament, the current. So probably, if NUP has that privilege of getting the 1.2 billion from the Electoral Commission,
1.4 billion.
1.4 billion actually, I think this is a very good landmark for the party to organize itself. And basically, looking at my area in Arua district, people have heard of NUP as in pictures and in words, but the visibility has never been sufficient. At the moment, we are expecting the party to do the needful. Expect in the areas of publicity. Publicizing the party requires a lot of effort. At the local level, we at the moment desire to have the NUP structures that would have helped to contribute in the visibility of the party. But since we have not done that for the party structure, building the party, in fact, the party has only been built from the district, let me say sub-county and the district levels, but we have not reached to the villages. And this is the moment, if that money comes available for the party, we need the party to distribute this money at the district, whereby it has to be designed for structuring the process, speeding up the structuring the party. And of course, the party had announced itself to establish at least 43 executive members, at 43 executive members at every village. And we are worried that to this far, we have not even built the sub-county structures, apart from the district that we have contacted by July this year, 2025. So it will be a very good moment for the party to use that money, because as the chairman, I have found it difficult even to organize meeting. We have tried to consult how we can approach the party to start mobilizing the grassroots. The feedback we have always been getting is that the party does not have money. At the moment, the party is preparing money for the candidates only. And this has always given us a very big setback to move forward. Now that we have heard of this money being available and we are giving this, we want the party to dedicate this specifically in building the party, and also to allocate special support. Even we have the functioning leadership at the district. This leadership needs to be facilitated with airtime, who will make the party to be reliable on air, that is in terms of data, who can share the messages through the internet, and also on phone calls. That makes, and of course we are living in the information era, and the NUP largely moves agenda of revolution. and revolution generally requires a lot of educative messages, and having these messages requires a space. Buying these spaces needs facilitation in terms of money, even on the radios, individual accounts. So basically, for someone to be in NUP, it is according to the current environment, people take it as a risk. First of all, one person looks at whatever he or she has, and how he can be able to invest in this party, and what is the return. Generally, people do not wish to invest in NUP because the expectation of return is too low. Because anytime you can lose everything, and you can get threats of against your maybe livelihood. Because someone may be in a business or in other employment opportunities, but he finds it difficult to use those resources to facilitate party activities. So we now look at this opportunity from the party to at least address our expectations at the grassroots. Not this time we see for the NUP, they have so much want to see the top leaders inspiring the locals. But we who are down here, we are supposed to do more to inspire the people so that the people can build trust in us at the local level. So that the NUP becomes part of the community, not hanging at the higher level.
At your level, to ensure visibility of NUP in especially NRM-dominated Vurra constituency, Arua district?
Well, in fact, it has not been easy, and it has been a radical approach. Much as we enjoy the privilege of the social media, but does not make impact at the for the rural community, just like Arua district. And we are feeling a lot of gap that we are not being visible enough to the local person. But greatly, I have always managed that with the people I have ever interfaced, I make sure these people get into our common platforms from every parish, every village where I meet them. And as of now, the 4 sub-county of Arua district, that is Ajia sub-county, Ariv sub-county, Logiri sub-county, and Vurra sub-county, is being connected onto various platforms that we have for the people of Arua district and the entire West Nile. And that is where I've been able to share the messages of NUP, which has made us visible and expectant. That is when now the situation allows that we are able to reach the people who can now look at our values. Of course, we have the party values, and we have the guiding principles and the visions. We want to translate this into local understanding when the chance is given. We want to put it at the local level. That's when we are facilitated to the capacity.
You have been the chairperson of the party in Arua district, but now flag bearer for Member of Parliament. Tell us about the various positions from Member of Parliament down to LC3 up to their councillors at Paris. Have you filled candidates in these positions, or we are going to see no NUP in some of these positions?
Well, this is now the current situation I've been handled as an individual, but of course I have a committee at the district level. I have 15 committee members, of which I chair as the chairperson. We have the Secretary General, we have the representatives of youth, the elderly, the person with a disability, so many. And besides that, we also created subcommittees of 5 members. That means we have subcommittee of the youth, subcommittee of the women, the subcommittee of persons with disabilities, and others. In all total, we have 43 leaders at the district level. But the key executive committee that sits on behalf of the party members are 15 members. So we have been using our resources, personal resources, to identify candidates right from the local government and even representatives in the member of parliament. We are privileged that we have covered the constituency, of which I am one of the candidates representing the Vurra constituency. At the district, we have woman member of parliament, that is the comrade Staraya Gina, who is there. And we are lucky that we have got LC5 candidate who is aspiring for the first time in the politics of Vurra. And he has already been successfully nominated with the electoral commission, with the exception of the area member of parliament and the woman MP expecting to nominate between 22nd and 23rd of October this month. But ideally, we face challenges establishing these structures, leadership of the elected positions. And greatly we lost in identifying the councillors at the district. We only managed to score with 2 candidates who are at the lesser privilege that we looked at, and it was at the demand of the population that they needed at least these candidates to be filled in those places. But for the other spaces, representatives, direct elected councillors, especially representing Vurra, Ajia, Aribu, and Mobilise, we only managed to raise male and female youth councillors. That is, one is Aniku Robinson, is our male youth councillor representing Vurra district. And also we have a female youth councillor in names of comrade, and let me not forget that, leave that for the moment. But we regret that we did not fill all those spaces.
What has been the challenge in not getting candidates for DLC positions, but also LC3 level, where you know the lower local administrative unit with its autonomy makes decisions for the people?
Really, the challenge has largely been internal and also individuals. Our individuals whom we identified as the party flag bearers, who would have nominated the electoral commission, were interfered by other political parties, especially the NRM. Many of them had to sign off in the process of nomination. And we did not, and with NUP, we have to reserve our effort at some level, whereby for someone who shows as a candidate, is expected to show his personal interest and also carry his own courage. It's the courage that makes someone to be a successful candidate. But now we fail to coordinate along these areas. We lost in the process when the state interfered. For example, in Logiri, we had LC3, we had yes councillors. All these people turned down their interests, just like a week to the nomination, and we could not do much. And the much expected, the party to facilitate their movement, right from moving to nomination centers, picking the nomination forms, and also preparing necessary documents. And that's where the party reserved its own support. And that's where we all lost together as a party. And as me individually, I did not contribute so much in that in building that candidates. Largely, the few who have shown up, they did it at their own capacity, with the exception of only the district chairman, who was almost missing the nomination because of the nomination fee of 200,000. But of course, the party happened to facilitate him at the last moment, and we appreciated him for that resilience. He never gave up and continued even to the nomination room without pain. But we managed to do that in a shortest time, and we succeeded.
How do you intend to overcome in these coming elections the NRM that has predominantly, been known in Vurra, especially from the time President Museveni came into power up to now? It was only when Semugore got some better votes. Until now, it is NRM dominating as opposition. How do you intend to change this narrative?
Wow, this has been long interpretation about the perspective about Vurra, that is generally the current Arua district. But that does not make a conclusion that Vurra is predominantly NRM. Because from my perspective and at our capacity, we still have a higher chance to educate the people, and of course the people are already informed. It has been the trend and the kind of the leadership that the people have ever elected. And as a NUP, we are trying to build alternative leadership. We have interfaced, just like as I mentioned, we have interfaced with resistance from the NRM leadership that have continuously interfered with our candidates. They wish all of our candidates to join them in their elections. And also, if not, we should decide for independent decisions, to stand as independent. But now that is not exactly what we want. And the people of Vurra are not, this time not, they have to test the alternative for the first time. And this may not be for the first time, of course. For the few past elections, we presented opposition. In the last election, we had LC5 candidate on the NUP who scored in the second position. And in around 2016, we had the opposition candidate of DP in the position of the member of parliament. That is one of our currently the deputy president of NUP in charge of Northern Uganda, Dr. Lina Zediga. She contested in Vurra and she lost by a difference of less than 200 votes. That gave us impression that the people of Vurra are not predominantly NRM. And this time we want to change, we want to prepare the alternative, bringing out the issues that is lacking and presenting to them the alternative that we have prepared in our manifesto as the party and as the candidates. That's what we are looking forward to do, such that we claim Vurra as a whole for the NUP.
What are the approaches you're going to use to reach that ordinary farmer, that rural woman who may not access social media, who may not access TV, who may not have a newspaper to read about NUP, but will want to get your message? What is your strategy?
Well, this is so beautiful to learn, to understand that our people so much uh, prefer community, collective community organization. We have social events in our communities, and that is largely maybe in the fundraising, the church events, and also any emergencies that affects the common person in the community, whether in the culture, of course, people have cultural, maybe clan events that needed support, or maybe contribution from various stakeholders. And we as NEP, we are one of the stakeholders. And we want to continue, we want to build relations with the people during such moments. Those are moments of solidarity. They are not generally for social support, but how we want to understand that we are all in the same situation. But largely, as NUP, we want to, we are going to move in our political rallies, and these rallies are going to go to grassroots levels, and that's when we'll be able to present our ideas, we'll share and exchange the ideas with the people, such that people get to understand and believe in us. And of course, people are expecting us. As up to now, I am receiving invitations. People have gone on even up to my Facebook account to send invitations because they have not access, they have never gotten to access me physically. They need me in Ajia down. They need me in Logiri down in that part ends of Lazeb, in Ajono, all these ends. They expect me to be there as a candidate. But because I have not yet prepared myself to reach out, because I am, as being a party flag bearer, I am largely expecting support from the party and also the people who are going to contribute in the process. If there are people who can give me the courage, that is the support I'm expecting to reach the grassroots, and that will apply to the rest of the candidates.
We are heading for the elections. Arua district, which has Vurra constituency, will only have 2 members of parliament, the woman MP and the directly elected member of parliament for Vurra constituency. From electoral commission, I have seen a list of 8, actually 9 people who have picked nomination forms. 1 from the NRM, 1 from NUP, another from FDC. The rest seem to be independent. How are you prepared as Aniku Nelson? First of all, who is Aniku, the flag bearer for NUP, and how are you prepared to overcome the other opponents?
Well, Aniku Nelson is the flag bearer of NUP, representing the candidate for Vurra constituency for the coming election of 2026-2031. And I individually, I have been a leader before coming into this position, contesting this position. I've been serving or representing the youth of Vurra sub-county as the youth council chairman. And it is as a result of this platform I've gotten, I take the courage to contest to the level of the member of parliament. It is as a result that I had observed critically there are issues at this moment for the people of Vurra and the community of Vurra to transform requires alternative government. Because in a short proverb they say that if you put all your eggs in one basket, by accident you can lose them. And this happened right from NRM primaries. There are people who went to NRM primaries. So too many of the men participated and they failed. And now, as NUP, we are presented alternative of the bucket. If the other one was the yellow bucket, this time we also have the red bucket against the yellow, including the blue which is there, and the independence. Yes? Now it is now the people to buy from these buckets. These are now the standing buckets, and I am one of them as the alternative. And for this purpose, I have looked at the issue of Vurra to be managed in different aspects. First of all, I have drawn the goal of going to the parliament to increase the magnitude, to increase the using the alternative government to increase the magnitude of issues in Vurra, especially in education, in health, and in so many community development programs. So on that matter, I have looked at being in the NUP as opposition. It will give me a vibrant chance to look how Vurra should be greatly appreciated in the national cake, sharing in the national cake. And also, if I may mention few of my manifestos, and these are what I have thought of consultatively with people of Vurra and a few of the friends, and how these issues can be well interpreted. The first, I have looked at the issue of education as the great concern to the people of Vurra. And in this education, we expected the quality. This time we don't want only the schooling, but we want quality education in Vurra. In that way, we will see the people of Vurra developing and transforming collectively.
So what are you going to do to ensure that quality differently from what is being done right now?
The quality is based on the available resources. The first is that the existing structures of the educational institutions we have, the primary and the secondary education, and these structures needed to be adjusted. From my experience of youth leadership, I've been moving to these schools, at least in my sub-county of Vurra sub-county, and I've discovered the same issues are happening all across. Learners do not have enough space. They have students standing at the veranda, attending to the lessons. Others sit on the floor. And some of these students at home, they feel responsible people. And here in the school, they are placed on the floor. Yes, but they are not, when they reach certain level, they don't see the comfort to continue with education. That's why we want to see the quality of the education has the sufficient space. There should have been like the minimum feeding strategy mechanism. As an individual, I know in the parliament allocates the constituency development funds. And these are the funds that can help support maybe feeding strategies. If it can be consultatively accommodated by the local government.
But we are told this money was scrapped off, the constituency development fund was scrapped off in the 11th parliament. It's not there. How and then will you rely on it?
Basically, if that money is not there, but me as individual, I have looked at myself as someone who has emerged from a non-payment platform. I've never been in employment, or maybe in employment where I am receiving payment from organization. But I have rated myself as an individual that out of all that I am supposed to receive, because the people have given me the mandate to represent them in the parliament, I am reserving only 20% of the benefit that I am expected to receive from the parliament. The 80% should go to the community affairs. And that is the money I am considering to see we transform our people in various aspects. The first, as I mentioned, in the education. The second is the local governance. The local government which starts at the village level. Our village is being headed by LC1s. The LC1s, generally, they're operating from home. We don't have LC1 office. We have LC1 homes. These homes can be shifted from one to the other if another one is elected. But now I am looking at how we can build a sustainable structure for LC1s to operate at the village level, such that people do not ignore the responsibility of these LC1s. First of all, I have looked at designing a simple, if not a kiosk, yeah, that can be labeled with black, yellow, red in outside room, and inside for the office of the LC1. Yes? That is what I'm looking at, how we can keep this, we can establish this structure at the local level. Then, to the extent, we also establish the parish, whereby we engage people to contribute. Maybe if they can mobilize to lay bricks to build the parish center, then we can now add on buying the iron seat and others. And we shall have the same design that we can present to our people, how we want the village offices to look like, and the parish office should be looked at. And the rest on the issue of the socio-economic transformation, and which has been introduced by NRM. These are also development avenues any government can adopt. With the alternative government, we are not going to ignore all these services, but greatly how the approach we want it to be moved. In my own perspective, parish development model is not the best mechanism for socio-economic transformation program. That is based on the community I have in Vurra. In Vurra, people so much trust in the culture, and that culture is rooted on the clusters of the clan based. And if we shift the attention of the parish to the clan, whereby we give the power, financial power, to the clan leadership on how they can transform themselves as a community in that small cluster. That is why my view of transforming the socio-economic status of our people. And in that way, we will expect that people go, and of course, the clans have have established resources. Everyone in community have got land. Sometimes we realize these clans members are not within, others are abroad, others are within the neighborhood, and their lands are being being reserved idle. If we empower the clans to consolidate themselves to make use of the available resources of land, then they can even establish commercial farming, which can be used for large production, and it can give them support to the extent that they can even raise money to support their education, finance their educational expenses. Meanwhile, they may use their little lands for feeding, for subsistences generally, which has been there. That has been my view, and I have placed all these manifestos in the levels. The first level is is the education. The second is the local governance. The second being the clan, the clan-based development. And then the third item in my manifesto is the religion. Of course, how we have been how we have perceived religion in our community has been negatively impacting on our families. People have wholesomely given their time and their resources into the religion affairs, and they have ignored even their diet and even education. Religion has always expected a lot from people. Now I wanted this to be changed in a way that the churches, using the church structures, maybe the church organizations. We have, maybe if you look at Catholic, you have the Catholic Action, you have the Catholic choirs, you have the St. Kizito. If we empower these organizations with the funds specifically to handle, to support, and they will actually consider adopting the community into their organization, such that they can be facilitated to produce on behalf of the community to support the church. Yeah, generally I've looked it to be like that way. It is not sustainable for me and as individual to give money to a church to construct, to start even a foundation up to the roofing. I may not have all that capacity. Even the community, it will take long. But if the community start with the strategy of how long they expect this to reach, they can start with the alternative sources. They can start with building. They can even start growing trees. If they want a better house for the church, they can plant eucalyptus in the church land, and they can expect this to be ready by 7 to 8 years. Yeah? And that one can be used, they can sell it out in the process of need for money, and also use some of the materials in the supporting the construction of the structure.
You talked about who Aniku is, but the other perspective of academic aspect of Aniku, we have had this issue in Vurra. People in the last election saying we sent a leader who is not so fluent, but also not, in some people's understanding, not educated, yet this somebody who met the qualifications to be a member of parliament. Who is Aniku in terms of academic perspective?
That is great. And of course, as an individual, I am, my name is called Aniku Nelson. I come from Arua district in Vurra constituency, Vurra sub-county. I have Paris and in Oli village. In short, the word Oli should not be confused with the other word known in Arua city, Oli. But this is specifically a village in my parish. And I was raised from a humble background. I started my education, the primary education, from Oyo Primary School, that is located in Opia Parish. And later, I went on with the studies. I went to study primary 3, 4, 5 from Masindi, when I resided with my father for about 5 years. Then later I came back and completed my primary education at Ringiri Primary School. And after that I proceeded for secondary education where I first enrolled at Inyara Secondary for Senior 1 and Senior 2. And later I came to join Bondo Army Secondary School in 2013. I completed Senior 4 in 2014 at Bondo Secondary School, Bondo Army Secondary School. Later I joined A-Level at Anyav Secondary School, and I completed in 2016. And it took me 2 years to plan of the next journey, and I was privileged that I happened to join university, Makerere University, in 2019. Yeah? I joined Makerere University in 2019, and I completed in 2022 because of the COVID interferences. It took almost 4 years, and as a result, with the university papers, I am still incomplete in the way that the university is demanding me, but I completed the course, and I believe.
Which course are we talking about particularly?
Yes.
Is it political administration? Which area? Are we talking social science?
Exactly.
Are you a medical doctor?
Right from A-Level, I did a combination of the history, fine arts, and economics. Yes. With the subsidiary math and others, and the general paper as usual. But when I applied for university, I actually expected my desire was to do industrial arts, but unlikely, I was not given my first choice of the university course, and I was given a course of which I had put actually the last result in the order place. It was the adult and community education. So, and this is the course I have got to learn more, and this has given me a lot of consciousness into interpreting the community. So, by profession, I am adult and community educator. In short, you can call me community educator. I am also a teacher, but a teacher of adults, which means I am supposed to use all the chances I have with the adulthood people to learn and relearn. So that is what described me as Aniku Nelson. So it's what I believe in, but generally, looking at the nature of the representation the people of NRM has ever presented for the people of Vurra. But these are people who have all the courage. And in the politics, what we forget is that in the politics they don't look for CV. They look for qualification. Who qualifies? What makes you to be qualified for this position? And of course, for Member of Parliament, it starts with A-Level. And in this coming election, I have put A-Level as my minimum qualification. But with the knowledge I have, I understand that the issues that I am going to present in the Parliament, they align with the knowledge of the current education. The education we go through now requires the current intervention mechanisms. We don't have to wait for next 20 years to see leaders, the current someone of now to be a leader, to solve the problem of the future when the current education has been wasted against the current problems. Generally, we are educated. We are supposed, education is supposed to be on a problem based, and this problem must be managed at the urgency and at the emergency situations. Currently, when you see my age, but physically, someone may be checking me as a young person, or even by the age, I am 30 years, of course, and this age does not describe my leadership abilities. It is what is in my mind and what I have invested in myself, which is driving me to this leadership. I am not motivated by another person, but I picked this courage after observing the environment and also experiencing the situation in the community, the poverty levels, the challenges we face in education. Most times our children drop out at primary level. You enroll over 300 pupils in primary 1, and by P7 you will only have less than 30, which is not good. What are we reserving over 300 people in the community if they are not educated, if they cannot reach a secondary education? So this is the moment we want to arrest the situation together with the community, using the knowledge we have, how we can transform. Even those who have dropped, how can we absorb them back into education? The people who have dropped because of the conditions at the time. How can we create a better condition for them to come back? Even when they're in marriages, even when they are unable to reach, how can we make it sustainable for everyone, the education sustainable for everyone to achieve his or her desires? Because education, we have been misled that education is for employment, but generally we look at education as how we relate with among ourselves. Someone who is not educated find it difficult to interact with the educated people, not just because of in fact the person treats him or herself as at a vulnerable position among the educated, and yet when you look at the intelligence of this person, the person is highly intelligent. He only lacked the clarity, and it is that formal education, the system that we have, that gives us the clarity that what you have, the intelligence you have, has got a space to be applied. It can be applied in maybe in the professions of teaching, in the professions of educating people, in everything. So it's the experience that drives us, and I am ready, and I want to seek for mandate of the people to see that they see this value in me, to be their leader as the next member of parliament of 2026 to 2031, and they have to test the alternative government for the first time, representing Vurra constituency in the parliament as the NUP. And this will be a great achievement, not just for me as an individual, for the people of Arua district and the entire Uganda and African continent. So that is generally what I am all about.
Okay, we leave that to the people to decide.
Yes.
Ours is to pass the message. Thank you so much, and we hope to continue interacting.
Thank you so much.